We would like to introduce our carbon and silica pneumatic conveyor system of Amano bulk handling system. Please let us show you 6 characteristics of Amano's carbon and silica pneumatic conveyor system from past projects, technology, quality, care to the surrounding environment, maintenance to development. These concepts join together to make Amano's carbon and silica pneumatic conveyor system better. Amano's past projects. $68 sets of Amano's carbon and silica pneumatic conveyor system have already been completed and delivered in Japan. 34 sets were sent overseas. This track record provides the foundation of Amano's reliability and trust to our advanced technology. We have delivered the systems to a lot of countries such as South Korea, China, India, Thailand, Indonesia, the Philippines, the U.S., Mexico, Brazil, and European areas. We also care about our after-sales services. Please leave after-sales service to us too. For example, about the pneumatic operation system for the U.S., we can handle various types of specifications, such as OSHA, ASME, UL, ANSI, and NFPA. In addition, in Europe, we can also handle TÜV, DIN, N, and CE certification. Furthermore, we have manufacturing subcontractors in key countries in Asia, the U.S., and Europe. It is possible to procure components locally. You can also leave the overseas construction to us. Amano's technology. System flow. This is the representative system configuration of carbon and silica pneumatic conveying system. The system accepts powders in the unloading area and conveys the powders to the main silo by the pneumatic conveying system, then supplies the powders to the mixer. Unloading. There are various types of accepting powders. We can handle all types of unloading, such as flexible container bag, tanker, container transport vehicle, and container train. This is one example of accepting the flexible container bag. In general, the conveyor is put inside the pit. Collected powders are reused by installing the dust collector to minimize scattering dust. Accepting by tanker. There are no dust generation by their original joint system. A lot of companies adopt this system in Japan. We can handle the tanker that is not damping up and has some space. Accepting by container car. This method is adopted if the powders are imported. Accepting by container train. This method is adopted in the U.S. It is very important to select various types of powders correctly. The mistake leads to big problems. You can choose the way of selecting powders from the selector switch, key switch to barcode, IC card, or fingerprint authentication. Main silo. This is the container for storing large amount of powders, such as 100 to 200 cubic meters. We prepare the skirt-type silo that is relatively low cost and trestle silo that is easy to maintain, and the assembled silo that has the advantage of using less space. We can fit the system according to your needs. Day bin. Day bin is installed on the top of the mixer. We can handle a self-standing model, a floor penetration model, or a complex model. Feeder. There are various types of feeders. For example, the rotary feeder, that is most general, and the screw feeder, that is mostly used for quantitative supply, and air slider, appropriate for conveying a large amount of powders. Please leave it up to Amano. Pneumatic conveyor system. This selection is most important. Generally, high-pressure Bessel single type fits with conveying large amounts of powder, and high-pressure seal feeder type that saves space. If you prefer the low-cost type, we can handle a low-pressure seal feeder type and low-pressure vacuum type. In case of granulation carbon, it requires to minimize the crushing rate to the utmost. In that case, the condition is low-speed conveying, and the choice is limited to the high-pressure conveying system. In case of silica, high-pressure seal feeder type is not fit because of sealing deterioration by abrasion. This is one example of silica conveying. The system cannot be stably worked. Slide part is worn away and deteriorates the sealing characteristic. Booster system. Next is about conveying velocity of the pipeline. General pneumatic conveying system does not supply the auxiliary air to the pipeline. In this case, the minimum conveying speed have to be secured. Therefore, it is inadequate with the granulation carbon that have to minimize the crushing rate. Continuous supply of auxiliary air to the pipeline enable to slow the conveying velocity, but in this case, the crushing rate of carbon is not satisfactory. For lowering the speed, we have the way of supplying auxiliary air to pipelines when needed. One is the static pressure detection type, and the other is the differential pressure detection type. In case of the static pressure detection type, the sensor works and supply the air to more upstream pipeline when the pipeline is clogged with powders. In case of differential pressure detection type, the sensors supply the auxiliary air to the necessary place when needed. This type, Amano new mechatronic system, is the best for lowering speed. Amano quality. Amano new mechatronic system. This system adopts a differential pressure detection type as mentioned before and is composed of conveying pipes, booster pipes, pressure sensor, and booster nozzle. When conveying stably, the pressure balance is even from point to supply air to point to be supplied air. The blue line indicates that. When powders are clogged in part of pipelines, the pressure of more upstream pipelines becomes higher and the pressure of more downstream pipelines becomes lower. The red line indicates that. This means that the pressure between PS1 and PS2 becomes different and the system supply the auxiliary air to the section. This is automatically controlled and the system always keeps even pressure balance and realizes the stable low-pressure operation. The value of a pressure sensor installed in the pipelines is displayed in the touch panel monitor of the control board, and you can easily understand the present pressure and conveying condition. If the powders are of various types, each powder has different physical properties and is required to set the appropriate condition. Amano new mechatronic system have to be set per variety and conveying distance and realize the ideal stable and energy-saving conveyance. As shown the number, Amano new mechatronic system keeps the minimum crushing rate. For your reference, this is the data of Amano new mechatronics system crushing rate. On high-distance conveying, we are able to realize the overwhelming low crushing rate compared to other systems. Valve unit. This valve unit also works for reducing the crushing rate on Amano pneumatic conveying system. This unit has automatic airflow control and control the total amount of airflow per variety and conveying distance in addition to new mechatronic system. Care to the surrounding environment. Pressure monitoring. Especially in carbon, powder leaking worsens the work environment. In case of the high-pressure conveying system, it faces more growing risks, so the pressure sensor is installed in the components that has high risk of leaking carbon to prevent leaking carbon by constantly monitoring the pressure. Backup filter. Moreover, about filter, there is concern over the air leakage associated with increasing filter clogging. It is possible to install dust monitors and backup filters as well as filter differential pressure sensors for countermeasures just in case. Air vent filter. On filter replacement, we have the countermeasure of dust generation. General bag filter needs much time to stabilize the powders because the filter have to be replaced from the dirty side. For adopting the top removal method, you can minimize generating powders from filter replacement. Moreover, for using the specified collecting bag, you can completely seal and replace the filter. Amano maintenance. Monitoring system. For keeping the production quality and efficiency, daily maintenance is most important of all. Amano new mechatronic system realizes to monitor various information on the touch panel monitor. Necessary sensors are installed in each components, and the components are monitored through PLC. For example, conveying pressure. By setting the value of normal range, the monitoring system informs the trouble of components. For example, time of filter replacement. By displaying the operation time of each component, the time of filter replacement is informed. According to customer needs, we can build the network from installation to the main body, including the maintenance room and the engineering room, and coordinate the operation condition. Furthermore, the monitoring from remote location via mobile device can be realized. Sampling system. Periodic inspection of the crushing rate. For installing the auto sampling system, periodic sampling can easily be realized in a short time. Amano development. Test plant. Amano innovates technologies for the Amano pneumatic conveying system in the powder test plant every day. We handle various types of conveying ways, and the conveying distance is selectable. Feed area, pipe area, and separate area, we have the latest machines. We collect all necessary data, such as pressure, weight, and flow, and we can analyze the data soon and propose the most suitable conveying system. We appreciate your ongoing support on Amano pneumatic conveying system that is improving every day.